So you're uniquely designed. You've designed your team for this. What do you see as the challenges to get over, like in the next 12 months to a year or 2 years?
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that. I think you're in the same boat. But for us, it's going to be education, and it's probably going to continue being education way past that. We understand our assignment, to say it in the common language. We understand the assignment. The assignment is to educate. And it's not cliche. It really is education in the sense that we have to explain, counter-explain what sometimes the one Hispanic channel that is here in Seattle says sometimes. And I don't mean any disrespect. It's always bad. And it's always going to be bad, and
well,
it doesn't.
That's the news, right?
Right.
If it bleeds, it leads.
But it's tough. At least you guys have so many to pick from. We have one, and so to us, it's the people will come and say, "Look, I know what I want. I know what my heart desires. I know what my family needs. But everything in this that I'm seeing on Instagram, on Facebook, on the news, on the newspaper, heaven forbid, right? It's all bad. And so, can you tell me something?" But I know you're a salesperson. I know what you're going to tell me, and so that's the mindset. And so we have to learn to, or we're as a team deconstructing that of come and see,
right?
Come and see, and then go. But first, you got to come and see,
right?
So that I can tell you where we are at. Exactly,
yeah.
Exactly. That's why to me the whole idea of I'll just go show you some homes doesn't work for me. Let's see what you financially, where you stand, what can happen. And then we can go and see, and then actually run and all of that. But it's the education piece because these are scary times, not just on the housing, but just scary times. But we have to offer the hope of this can happen. It's just a matter of staying committed.
Well, and people, again, as a generality, right? We don't know, right? We listen to the quote unquote experts, but the reality is homeownership is homeownership is homeownership. You can pay the landlord's mortgage or you can pay your mortgage, right? And there's a saying going out right now that I love. It's called marry the house, date the rate, right? Yeah. Because rates is a big conversation right now. People are all up in arms that, 7 months ago rates were in the 3s and now they're in the 6s, right? And people are all caught up in this. And it's like, my first house was at 8%. And I used a VA loan to get it, which are typically lower rates. So it tells you where rates were then. Yeah. And at one time, people were buying houses with rates in the 20s. Yeah. Right? So the rate's not really the conversation. For me, it's the inflation and the equity and everything else. If you get on the rung today, get on that first rung, just whatever house you can afford, and don't overextend, don't do silly, stupid things, but get on that first rung. Yeah. You're going to grow at 10% a year. Yeah. Right? Just say $300,000. That's $30,000 in 12 months. Right. That's whether it's a savings or equity or wealth building.
I think the pain is the community really, especially here in Seattle, still remembers the '08 market. And so many people I'm only speaking from my experience, right? So many people lost their home because they weren't, they weren't supposed to get a home at that point. And a lot of things that were happening in the community really scared a lot of people, turned a lot of people away. I talked to a lot of previous homeowners that say, I'm never going to get a house again because of what happened. And so it's the education of letting them know things have changed. I respect this country for those kinds of things. There's a mistake, we fix it, right? And I include myself in that since I'm part of now this industry as well. We fix things like that.
We fix a lot. Let's face it, since 2008, the mortgage industry has been super regulated.
100%.
Right? And it needed to be in a lot of ways. We don't have liar loans anymore. We don't have fog of mirror loans anymore. You actually go through a qualification process.
Stated assets.
To make sure you can actually pay for this house. Right. And again, if your rent's $2,000 a month, well, let's find you a mortgage that's somewhere in that range of maybe $2,500 so you can stretch a little bit. Mm-hmm. But now you're buying a house. It's kind of a forced retirement plan, a forced, whatever. But we're way different than 2008, and a lot of it is supply and demand. We went into 2008 way overbuilt. We're coming into 2022 way underbuilt. Supply and demand is really simple. Sure. Right? So understanding that, we have a huge shortage of housing, and it's not going away anytime soon.
Right. So true. That's the challenge.
Right.
Yeah. Sitting down and explaining that has been the challenge at this point.
Well, hopefully this helps. So we're getting close to the end of our time.
Sure.
what is your personal plan for this next year? I mean, anything you want to let us know? I mean, is there a direction you're heading, something new that you're going to take on?
Yeah, well, I think for Willcuts Homes, we're very excited. We've always said this from the beginning, and we hope that we have the grace to get that done, is we want to become the team where the second generation Hispanics want to work and want to help their community. And so we've got 2 of our members that are going to get licensed and are not just going to be staff, but actually going to be out in the field doing some pretty cool work. And so we're excited about just adding to our numbers and extending our internship program. So that's always fun, because out of the people that we have, then we pick the best one and the most committed, and then we put them on the team. So
it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, we're
pretty
excited.
Awesome. No, that's exciting. Thanks. Thanks again for coming in today. I really appreciate having you here.
Thank you, and thank you for all the help that you're bringing my community. I really appreciate the fact that you're willing to do what other people just don't do. And so I appreciate that, and thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
All right, Mike. See you soon.
Ciao.